The time is 9 o'clock and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And now it's time for your CHMA News. We're broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, the heart of the Maritimes and the traditional and unceded lands of the Mi'kmaq people. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll have your local news, Atlantic update, weather, sports update, and some community announcements.
I'm Mike Robar, and this is your local CHMA News. Coming up today, I sat down with incumbent Ward 3 candidate Bruce Finney, who spoke about what he thinks the municipality needs to do to address the ongoing issues with the fire department and some changes he thinks council needs to make in how they operate. But first, last Friday, CHMA hosted a forum with the 3 Tantramar mayoral candidates, Sabine Dietz, Debbie Wiggins-Caldwell, and Terry Jones. The event was organized by Bruce Wark of the Wark Times and moderated by Carol Cook of the Citizens Committee for Informed Elections. During the forum, the 3 candidates had a spirited debate over municipal taxation and tax rebates. Residents in the former local service districts have seen property tax rates rise, while those living in Sackville and Dorchester have seen a slight decrease since amalgamation in 2023. When Cook asked the candidates how they felt about the issue, the 3 agreed the municipality needs to look closely at rates and how they are calculated to ensure fairness across Tantramar based on services received. The disagreement arose when the topic of tax breaks for private development came up. Currently, Tantramar has an economic development incentive program for commercial, industrial, and multi-unit residential projects, which offers around a 50% tax rebate. For projects over $5 million, those rebates last for 5 years, and those over that $5 million threshold last for 10. Wiggins-Caldwell said she was all for them and the benefits they can bring to the community, citing businesses and the medical center being put on the ground level of the Lafford development in downtown Sackville. But both Jones and Dietz said that developments likely would have been built regardless of tax incentives that reduce municipal revenues. In particular, Dietz, who disclosed that her own nonprofit multi-unit residential development received approval for the incentive, questioned whether the current council had any sort of analysis done to determine what projects qualify. A back and forth ensued between Wiggins-Caldwell and Dietz, with Wiggins-Caldwell arguing development may move out of the downtown core or to another community altogether without these incentives, and Dietz saying that there's no proof that would happen, and that to continue to provide incentives without proper guidelines was a risk to the future of Tantramar for only a maybe benefit. Cook brought Jones back into the debate, who said that while attracting new businesses is necessary, we've often seen businesses shuffle between buildings as opposed to new businesses coming in. She also said that even with new growth, the potential millions in lost tax revenue over 10 years could be used to fund more and better services for residents. Other topics covered during the forum include the gas plant, the ongoing trouble with Sackville's fire services, poverty, public question period during council meetings, and climate change. The forum in its entirety will be broadcast here on CHMA 106.9 FM at 6 p.m. this evening. And now, your feature story.
I'm Mike Robar with CHMA News, and I'm sitting here with Bruce Finney, current Ward 3 councillor and running again for Ward 3 in the upcoming election. Thanks for sitting down today, Bruce.
My pleasure to be here, Mike.
So we're going to start with the first question we've been asking everyone, and that's a really easy one for most people. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
I used to work at Mount A for 42 and a half years, retired in 2020, reached out to run for council back in 2004, have been reelected ever since and would love to be reelected again. One of my things I do is I'm on the CAC committee at Dorchester, and that's pretty much it. I'm just an easygoing, happy-go-lucky guy.
Perfect. So the second question is, again, pretty straightforward. Why are you running?
I'm running because of the fact they need somebody I hate to be so blunt, but they need someone like me there who works for the people. I don't work for individuals or corporations or any kind of community group. I work for everybody. I believe everybody needs representation, and there are some things that need to be looked after, because with the changing of the amalgamation, there's a lot of things changed, and actually you need somebody there that's keeping an eye on things. And since I've been there, I've been a councillor for 22 years now, I have a pretty good idea of exactly who to run to if I need to find out any information and try and get things straightened out. And we need to fix things sooner than later, as a matter of fact. So I just love doing it. I think I'm pretty good at it. A lot of people keep re-electing me, so they must see something in me. I'm known. Sometimes I talk too much, but I call it like I see it, and I'm not afraid to ask questions. So I really do enjoy doing this, and I'm looking forward to being reelected so I can fix some of the issues and the problems that are going on within the town hall and within the government. So.
All right. Maybe this next question then will give you a bit of chance to talk about some of that, and it's what would you like to accomplish if you are reelected?
Well, first of all, I'd like to turn around and try to get our management team back in the way that it was when I first got elected, because I find that sometimes they're not communicating with us or bringing us the information. And when I say us, I mean council, so that we can make an informed decision on the issues that are happening at the time. We have a big issue right now, which is the fire department. And as I said to a gentleman earlier, there's two, and I've said to a number of people in town, there's two things that need to be done. I would like to see the resignation of the fire chief and our CAO. I feel we need to start there and then rebuild. There are some things that are happening that are not right, and they need to be fixed sooner than later. With the fire department, and I'm going to stay on that one for a minute, is that we have no really protection other than the agreements that we have with the other communities, if we did have. And well, this is unacceptable, and we don't need that. We need to turn around and get it straightened out, and hopefully get the 12 back that resigned, because they've got over 100 years or more of service, and they're good at it. Some of the other things I'd like to turn around and address is the Minister of Local Government and the Governance Act, which changed from the Municipalities Act since 2017. Some of the issues in there, like, for instance, the Right to Privacy Act. I mean, this is ridiculous. They don't want people to know anything. And also the fact that we, as councillors, used to be able to read all reports that we used to authorize the money for. I'm referring to the Montana report. Out of my 22 years, that's the only report that I've never been able to read. And so therefore, we need to get that put back so that council can read exactly what they're doing and get those things straightened out. So I can't fix things unless I know what the reports are saying. So that's pretty much it, I guess, right there.
All right, Bruce. Well, thank you so much for coming in to chat today. I really appreciate the time, and I wish you the best of luck in the election on May 11th.
No, thank you, Mike. It's been a pleasure meeting you, too.
As always, head to chmafm.com to follow these and other stories from your community. And if you have any news, tips, or ideas, email news@chmafm.com. I'm Mike Robar with your local CHMA News from Tantramar.
Hey, this is David Kosh, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
And here is your CHMA Atlantic update. The Nova Scotia government has granted environmental assessment approval to a wind farm in an eastern part of the province. Construction of the Upper Afton Wind Project in Antigonish and Guysborough counties will begin next year. It will include up to 28 8-megawatt turbines that should be operational in 2029. Electricity from the wind farm will be used for the production of green hydrogen from a plant that is supposed to be built by Everwind. St. John police say all suspects in a woman's death 5 years ago have now been charged. Courtney McKenzie was found dead in a home in the city's North End in May 2021. Police arrested 2 men and 1 woman in connection with her death this week in the first major development in 3 years. One of the men was charged with manslaughter and remains in police custody ahead of a court appearance scheduled for May 19th. The PEI government is donating $600,000 to local organizations working to address food security on the island. The money comes from the sale of American alcohol that was pulled off liquor store shelves to protest American tariffs. Social Development Minister Barb Ramsey says most of the money will be handed to PEI food banks, which will distribute the funds to each of its food banks and other organizations. And that has been your CHMA Atlantic Update.
Vous écoutez à CHMA 106.9 FM à Sackville, au Nouveau-Brunswick.
And now for the weather. Today we're looking at mainly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers in the afternoon, wind up to 15 kilometers an hour with a high of 8, a wind chill of -7 in the morning, and a UV index of 4 or moderate. In the evening, cloudy skies with a 60% chance of rain showers, flurries beginning near midnight with wind up to 15 kilometers an hour and a low of -2 with a wind chill of -6 overnight. On Friday, April 24th, cloudy with a high of +4, and then in the nighttime, cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries and a low of -1. On Saturday, April 25th, cloudy with a high of 7, then in the nighttime, cloudy with a low of +1. On Sunday, April 26th, cloudy with a high of 6, and then in the night, cloudy periods with a low of -1. On Monday, April 27th, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 10, then cloudy periods in the night and a low of 0. And finally, on Tuesday, April 28th, cloudy with a 60% chance of showers and a high of 9. And that has been the weather.
Hey, I'm Seva, and you're listening to CHMA.
And here's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update.
The NBA playoffs continued last evening.
And that's Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Please be sure to check out Brian's show on Mondays at 8:30 a.m. for more sports commentary.
Hi, we're the cross-country team, and you're listening to CHMA.
And now for what's happening in your community. First up, the Couch to 5K Learn to Run program is starting up on April 28th, run by Mount Allison cross-country coach Claire Paybody. The group will meet every Tuesday and Thursday, with Claire leading the workout and giving individual plans and advice. You can sign up by visiting tantramardbeeb.com/programs by April 28th. The Dump and Run yard sale is taking place April 25th at 9 a.m. until noon behind the Tantramar Veterans Civic Center on 182 Main Street in Sackville. All gently used items are donated by Mount Allison students, and cash and card is accepted, with all proceeds going to the Sackville Food Bank. Check it out. The Voodoo Charmers are a blues rock band from Wolfville, Nova Scotia. The band plays original as well as cover songs and are inspired by the blues legends of yesteryear. Please join them on Saturday, April 25th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Ducky's for a jamming matinee show at your favorite local watering pond. The cost is $10 at the door, or pay what you can. Ducky's is turning Saturday nights into stage lights with a brand new open mic series. The pub will throw open the stage to acoustic performers, musicians, poets, comedians, and anyone with something creative to share. The next one is coming up on April 25th from 4 to 7 p.m. Acoustics acts only. Bring your best tunes, words, and laughs. Ducky's will bring the mic. And that's what's happening in your community.
All right, thanks, folks. And that was your CHMA News. Please visit www.chmafm.com for more news and to sign up for our email newsletter. Funding is provided by our monthly sustainers, the Community Radio Fund of Canada, and the Municipality of Tantramar's Community Development Grant. If you have a story idea or would like to include an announcement, please write us at news@chmafm.com. Well, James, I have a story. I have a sports update that I would like to get in. Apologies to Brian Nielsen. Here is your CHMA sports update for Thursday, April 23rd.
Series in the NBA, two first-round series in the NBA playoffs continued last evening. The first saw the Motor City squad defeat the visiting Orlando Magic. Detroit Pistons with the 98-83 victory at home evens up their first round series at 1 game apiece. And out in Oklahoma, the Thunder, they defeat the visiting Phoenix Suns 120-107. Holding serve at home to go up 2-0 in that first round series. Wyatt Johnson was the hero for the Dallas Stars last night as they went to double overtime against the Minnesota Wild. The Stars defeat the Wild on the road 4-3 to take a 2-1 series lead in that Western Conference first round battle. And the eastern side of the playoff bracket, the Philadelphia Flyers, they defeat the visiting Pittsburgh Penguins 5-2 to take a stranglehold on that series. The Flyers are up now 3-0 in that best of sevener. And it was the Anaheim Ducks out in the City of Champions defeating the Edmonton Oilers, a 6-4 final in there, evening up that series at 1 game apiece as it now moves to Northern California. And the Pacific Northwest last night over in the women's side of professional hockey, it was the Seattle Torrent winning their final home game against the visiting Minnesota Frost 5-4. In overtime, it was the Ottawa Charge defeating the Boston Fleet in Boston 2-1 final there. And the Professional Women's Hockey League, PWHL, season finishes up with a quadruple header on Saturday. Over in Major League Baseball, it was the Atlanta squad getting their 17th victory on the season to have the best record in the Major League Baseball. They defeat the Nationals in D.C. 8-6 final there in the held New York Yankees Boston Red Sox rivalry. The Yankees take the first game of that series 4-1, and Seattle defeats the visiting Athletic squad 5-4 at home. Blue Jays on the road in California. They lose to the Angels 7-3 final there, dropping the Blue Jays to 10-14 on the season. And in the Bay City, San Francisco Giants defeat the visiting Los Angeles Dodgers 3-0, moving the Dodgers into a first-place tie with the San Diego Padres at 16-8 on the season, as the Padres also lost, this time in Denver 8-3. Final in that one. And just to round out the evening, the New York Mets, they are victorious. They win 3-2 at home against Minnesota to break their 12-game losing streak, and that moves the Mets to 8-16 on the season.
That is Brian Nielsen with your CHMA Sports Update. Tune in again at 12 and 5 to catch that in case you missed it. Let's get back to your regular CHMA programming with Maya Noel.
Tune in every Sunday at 8 a.m. to listen to the Bluegrass Jam hosted by Wilson Moore. This legendary maritime bluegrass show started in 1977 with Wilson hosting radio broadcasts for over 40 years and airing more than 1,400 bluegrass jam shows. Wake up with Wilson Moore on Sundays at 8 a.m. on CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
Music, I got all that from you.
Hey, this is David Kosh, and you're listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick.
You are, in fact, listening to CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and you are listening to the Late Morning Show. Today is Thursday, April 23rd. I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning so far. I'm excited to get into some music. First up, we have Snail Mail with My Maker, and then we have Edwin Raphael with First Time on Earth. Enjoy.
Terry at the signals in the air. Whispers follow us carried everywhere. There's a million ways to breathe the scenery. Familiar in a way, it brings me to my knees. One of these days I'm gonna take away this weight I hold, but it feels like home, though I've never been here before. Echo, the night is here to stay. It's a taste that lingers on anyway. It serenades the corners in my mind. Oh, what a sign. Oh, what a sign. One of these days I'm gonna take away this weight I hold, but it feels like home. Uncertain, but it's beautifully designed. Everything's uncertain, but it's beautifully designed.
That was Edwin Raphael with First Time on Earth on CHMA 106.9 FM in Sackville, New Brunswick, Voice of the Marshes. I'm Maya Noel, and you are listening to The Late Morning Show, and we also listened to My Maker by Snail Mail. Next up, we have Aquaculture with Holy, and then we also have Vincent Cooney with Accident.
I've been trying to find the words This is why